subtracting mixed numbers. Let's talk about mixed number. What does that mean? Addie, what does that mean?
Means your numerator is bigger than your denominator.
No, that's an improper fraction. Okay, but we're going to talk about those too. What's a mixed number?
I'm not sure. Is it that big number?
Okay, so a mixed number is something like this. It has a whole number and a fraction. Okay, so on your paper, I want you to write mixed number. Okay, mixed number. So I gave you one example. I want you to write down 2 more examples of a mixed number. Anything you can think of. 2 more examples of a mixed number on your paper.
Write the one you got down to.
Write this one and then 2 more. Okay? 2 more of your choosing. 2 more mixed numbers.
Doesn't matter how big they are.
All right. So let's add a few more examples up here of mixed numbers. Addie, what's another example of a mixed number?
6 and 1 8.
6 and 1 8. Sorry.
4 and 5 6.
4 and 5 6. Andy?
2,043, 300, 500. What was your point?
I'm not gonna write that one down. That's too big. Andy?
8, 8, 2, 5, 8.
8 and 5 8. Okay. Gage, what's another one? 8 and 6 12. Can I simplify that?
Yeah.
To what?
3 and 6.
I can simplify 3 6 2. 1 half. 8 and 1 half. 6 is half of 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Aiden, give me an example.
4 and 2/3.
4 and 2/3. Audrey?
5 and 3 ninths.
5 and 3 ninths. Can I simplify this? Yep. To what? 5 and 1/3.
Do we need to write all that down?
Cash?
5 and 1 half. I meant 3/4.
5 and 3/4. Okay. I think we get the point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whole number and a fraction is called a mixed number. I don't know. It's just called a mixed number. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to talk about what Addie was just talking about, an improper fraction. Yes. Improper fraction. So an improper fraction, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So 5/4. Okay? Same thing. Write a couple more examples of an improper fraction. Improper fraction. Your numerator is bigger than your denominator. Numerator's bigger than your denominator.
So only 2.
2 more. Cash, give me another example.
100 halves.
100 halves. Aiden?
6/3.
6/3.
I did that one. I did that one.
Okay. Andy?
12 sevenths.
12 sevenths. Bailey?
5. 6.
Numerator has to be bigger than your denominator.
6 fifths.
6 fifths. Okay. Landon, give me one.
5/4.
I already have 5/4.
5/4.
I have 5/4 right here. That's the example I gave.
You said you have 5/3.
10 ninths. Okay? I think y'all get the point. That's enough. You get the point. Okay, now we're going to look at first today changing mixed numbers to improper fractions and improper fractions back to mixed numbers. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to look at today. Okay? No. So we're going to do mixed number to improper fractions first. So we have 3 1/3 is my mixed number. Okay? So we want to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. This is going to be important when we get to multiplying. Okay? You'll use this a lot when we get to multiplying. Okay? Not so much with adding and subtracting, but multiplying, it's going to come in super handy. Okay? So we are going from a mixed number to an improper fraction. What was an improper fraction again? Numerator's bigger than the denominator. So, in order to change this into an improper fraction, I start with my denominator. Okay? Start with my denominator. So I'm going to multiply my denominator times my whole number, which is 9 in this case. Then I add my numerator, which becomes 10. And I keep the same denominator.
You just looked at it and you could put that big 3 back to the number how many times
Okay, so from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay, so you always start with your denominator. So denominator times your whole number plus your numerator. Okay, so we're going to write that down so we know. So denominator plus, nope. Times your whole number plus your numerator gives you an improper fraction. Okay? Denominator times your whole number plus your numerator gives you an improper fraction, and you keep the same denominator. So whatever your denominator is for your mixed number, that's your denominator for your improper fraction.
I ran out of room, so I did FR for fraction.
It's okay. They're your notes.
I don't even know. You know I look at everything still.
Okay.
I wrote down too.
Okay, so let's look at the next one. We have 4 3/4.
I have a question. How do we
We'll get there. How do you go the other way, right? That's what you're going to ask. We'll get there.
how do we like make the
We'll get there.
10 smaller?
We'll get there. Okay, so 4 3/4, where do I start? I start with my denominator, and I do what? Times what? Times my whole number plus my numerator. So I get 19/4.
It was 16.
Okay? Last one, 2 5/6. Do that on your paper. 2 5/6. Mixed number to improper fraction. Almost go.
Why don't we start with this? It's so much easier. It is.
Yeah.
This is like the rest of the year.
No.
You just said the worst for last.
All right. 2 and 5, 6. I'm the type. I would rather do the hard stuff first,
Yeah.
and then save the easy stuff. Get it out of the way. Do it. I don't have to worry about it. Then I know how to do it. Then I can do things like this.
Yeah.
I see it this way.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Stop. 2 and 5, 6. So I need to make that into an improper fraction. Who can tell me how to do that? Aiden, what do I do?
You multiply your denominator by your whole number.
Which is what?
2. Then you get
Nope. You're going to have to add. I have to multiply my denominator, which is
6.
times my whole number, which is,
2.
and I get
Then you get 12.
12. Then what do I do?
Then you add your numerator by your 12, and then you get 17.
17 what?
6.
Hey, she's talking.
17, 6. Okay. One of your IXL assignments is this. Changing mixed numbers to improper fractions and improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay, now we're going to flip it around. Now we're going to do,
Changing the mixed numbers.
now we're going to go improper to mixed number. Okay, so I have 8/3. Okay, now, how many times will 3 go into 8? 2 times, right? Okay, so that becomes my whole number.
Wait, but that's the whole number.
Okay, so 3 will go into 8 2 times. That's 6. What's 8 minus 6? 2 and 2/3.
That's easy too.
Wait, what? This is so easy.
I already knew that.
I like it better like this.
Wait.
This part's way
Okay.
easier than the
All right. So another way, okay, you'll see tomorrow, okay, when we actually really start talking about subtract. Stop talking, please. When we actually really start talking about subtracting fractions, you start pulling out wholes from here. 3/3 is the same thing as 1.
Oh yeah.
Okay? 3/3 is the same thing as 1. So if I take away a 3/3 from here, I still have 5/3. Okay? If I take away another 3/3, then I'm left with 2/3. So I have 2 and 2/3. Okay? This is easier.
Can we write that down?
Yeah.
You need to write this down because you're going to have to know how to do it.
Like that.
Okay? So, stop. You're going to have to know how to do it like this too. It's not going to be as hard because you'll only take 1 away from it. Okay? Because you have to regroup in some of these things. You don't have enough. Okay? So, let's look at the second one. 12/5. 12/5. So how many times will 5 go into 12? 2 times. And that is what? 10. 12 minus 10 is what? If you want to check it, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 12/5. Okay, let's look at the last one. We have 10/6. 10/6. Okay, 6 goes into 10. Audrey says 1 time. Because you said 1. 10 minus 6 is what? 4. 4, 6. I can simplify that. By what? 2. So if I divide my fraction by 2, then I get 1 and 2/3. Okay? So we feel confident, mixed number to improper, improper to mixed number? It's not that bad. It's not hard. Not that bad. Okay?
I know this. All I know you said yesterday.
What?
We worked on this yesterday. Monday, tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. So we still have to find common denominators. Now, this one is mostly drag and drop, yeah. So, okay. Now, so on this one we have 2 2/3 plus 1 1/9. Okay. I have to find my common denominator, so I'm going to ignore the whole number for now. Okay? Ignore the whole number. Okay? What? It is going to be 9. So, I'm going to go ahead and do my fractions like we've been doing. And I'm still ignoring the whole numbers. If you want to go ahead and add these, what do I get? I'm going to have 3 as my final whole number. Okay? Okay, so I know my common denominator is 9. How do I get from 3 to 9? 3 times 3. And then I have to do 2 times 3, which is what? 6. Do I have to do anything to this bottom one? I can put a 1 here, but I don't have to do anything. Okay, so now I have 2 6/9 plus 1 1/9. Okay, so I'm just going to put these, this one, oh, edit, sorry. That's still a 2, okay? 2 6/9, right? Oh, no. Okay, anyways. So, 2 6/9. And then I have 1 1. Oh, come on, 1 1/9. Okay? Now, if I go ahead and finish this out, what's my answer going to be? 3 7/9. Yes, ma'am. What you need? I have 3 4/7 minus 1 1/3.
Am I in it?
Okay? Yeah, these are not the same. Okay. All right. So I have to find my least common denominator, which is going to be what, Mallory? 21. Mallory says 21. 4/7, 1/3. We're ignoring the whole number for right now. 2, 21. All right. 7 times what gives me 21? Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. What's my new numerator here? 12. 3 times what will give me 21?
7.
1 times 7? 7. So now I have this. 3 12. I'm going to say 21s because I don't like saying 21st. Minus 1 7 21st. So in this case, we're going to start with our fraction. 12 minus 7 will give me what?
4. No, 5. 4.
5. And then I do my whole number. 3 minus 1
4
gives me 2.
And
Okay, so let me Leave these in here so you guys have those.
If we can simplify, do we have to?
Do what?
If we can simplify, do we have to?
If you can simplify. Audrey asked if you can simplify, do we have to simplify? Yeah. Now that you know how to simplify, that's not an option.
How would you simplify the whole number?
You know how to simplify.
How do you simplify the whole number?
Stop. This is simplifying. How do I simplify that?
That's 2 first.
What do you mean you don't know how to simplify?
And we did it before. Congratulations. You know how to simplify.
Okay, we're moving on to figures. So if you look, we have 1 1/10 plus 1 4/5. 1 1/10 plus 1 4/5. What's my common denominator going to be?
It's gonna be 2. No, it's gonna be.
Oh, no.
10. I have 10 and I have 5. 10 is a multiple of both of those numbers. So I know I still have a whole for both of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drag my whole where it needs to go. Okay, so I still have my whole number. My common denominator is 10. So I still have the same thing up here at the top. Okay? Still have the same thing. So it's still 1 1/10. What does this number change to? 4/5. 4/5, I have to multiply by what? 2. So I get 8/10. Okay? So this becomes 1 8/10. And this is obviously the other piece that goes there. Okay? Then, if you add those two together, I start with my fraction. What is 1/10 plus 8/10? 9/10. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. So I get 2 9/10. 2 9/10. Okay? Let's do subtraction. So this one we have 2 7/12 minus 1 1/6. What's my common denominator? I have a 12 and a 6. 12. Okay? So I know I can go ahead and write 12 for my common denominator. Okay? Now, my first number is not going to change. So I still have my 2 holes here, and I still have my 1 hole down here. Okay? This one up here is still that. Okay? So this one goes here. So this becomes, I still have 2 7/12 here. This one becomes 1 2/12. Okay, now I subtract. Fractions first. 7/12 minus 2/12 gives me what? 5/12. 2 minus 1 is what? 1.